lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title of today's video, we're going to be reacting to Neurodivergent by Ren and Webby, which honestly I am just so super excited for. You guys already know how much I have been loving these collab songs, so I can't wait to get into this one and see what I can expect. But before we do, if you guys are new to the channel, then welcome and thank you for joining. Make sure you're clicking that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It really does help me to see what you're enjoying watching so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, I just can't wait to get into this, so let's go. Little blackboard, okay. We're in school. Oh my gosh, it's chaos already. Hey, Impatient.
Boy, my thoughts are burning like the napalm. I think I need to get away from this noise. I hate the places that I came from.
Ren, hold on a second. Number one, absolutely loving the glasses. Can I just say that? That has to be said, first and foremost. Number two, I'm loving those little oi, oi in the backing going on. That's so fun. I already feel like this is going to be an absolute vibe. Again, the little guitar moment we've got happening, everything and more. Ren and Webby. It's just literally, I said this before and I'll say it again, it's like a perfect combination, isn't it?
Boy, my thoughts are burning like the napalm. I think I need to get away from this noise. I hate the places that I came from. Destroy, I'm born a message from the preacher.
Talent show?
Out the speaker. I never paid attention either.
Hey, no, hold up a second. That is everything. You know, it's talking about subliminal messages, how, you know, throughout everything we do in life and everything we see in life, there's always things that are trying to almost persuade us into a certain way of living and a certain, you know, lifestyle, maybe. And then having a little kill in the back in like a little whisper. It's almost like in this song itself, Ren is literally personifying that sense of a subliminal message. So fire, absolutely incredible. Love that. Oh my gosh, wow. I feel like this is just a sense of the world expects you to be a certain person, you know, expects you to live your life a certain way and meet the standards that are expected of you, you know, and to be calm and to be just like everybody else, you know, go with the flow, live life in the way that they want you to. But it's like, sometimes that isn't just the way that we can live. Sometimes we are a little bit different. Sometimes we do have, you know, things about ourselves that make us maybe struggle more so with the way in which people would live I suppose, more of a structured, socially norm life. Because I think that even now, sometimes, you know, we see people who maybe do have their differences and maybe are a little bit more diverse in terms of their personality, or may, you know, have different things about themselves that needs more of an understanding nature. And I think that because of the way that we've been socially constructed, it's like sometimes we don't necessarily have that same understanding that we should have for people who maybe aren't necessarily fitting those stereotypes that we have been drawn out, you know? But honestly, I just love so far how this song is really drawing to that, I feel like. I love that. There's something strange about my demeanor. Don't feel pity for this sick boy. Come on with the sick boy.
Prescriptions, flipping stimulants and edibles. It's medicine, cerebellum, repairable, tweaking the biochemical peaking. I'm feeling incredible. But wait a second, need dopamine. My focus goes towards smoke machine. Precursor from L-tyrosine. And my racetrack doors very psychedelic.
Ren, I'm gonna need like 2 seconds to really compute everything that you're saying in this moment. So you best believe we're going back and hearing everything you just said again, because that was an absolute just... like, literally, you said about a racetrack, that was like a day at the Formula 1 races, do you know what I mean? That's how quick you were just rapping there, and I just couldn't keep up with you. Oh my gosh, wow. I love how, I feel like even the song itself, you know, it's starting out a little bit slower, on the slower, you know, side with the beats, and then as we're getting more into it, it feels like it's quickening up, the pace is quickening up, and maybe that is just like a symbol of how quickly sometimes your brain can change, you know, the way it's thinking. And how quickly sometimes you can maybe have a change of feeling, a change of emotion, you know, how quick it can be to really just switch up, like you said, your whole demeanor, your whole persona, you know. And I love that. Even it following through to the beat, it's so good.
Tweaking the biochemical peaking, I'm feeling incredible. But wait a second, need dopamine. My focus goes towards smoke machine. Precursor birth from L-tyrosine. And my racetrack doors very psychedelic. Deciphering maybes, I might have been the spiraling Fibonacci.
Deciphering maybes and might have beens. Oh my gosh, I love that lyric. And I feel like that's something that a lot of us can relate to on such a high level, you know. For me personally, I feel like I'm somebody who really overthinks when it comes to any and every single situation. And I'll find myself even years later still thinking like, what would have been if I'd have done this? And what would have been if I'd have done that? And I think that that's just like a natural part to us as human beings anyway. But I think in this song, it's even more so like ramped up on a wider scale, you know. But oh my God, wow. Fibonacci, talking about Fibonacci sequences, you know, really just trying to almost understand and work your mind around life. I feel like that's another thing as well, like trying to understand the meaning of what this life is, because sometimes I think life can seem so chaotic, it can seem so difficult to understand and wrap your head around, because there's so many things that don't make sense in the way that they work, that it is just like you're trying to find reason in anything you can. But it's like, even though you're trying to do that, there's still so many uncertainties when it comes to why life is the way it is and how it's panned out, you know? Get it with the street dance breakdown going on there, by the way. Hey. Ren, I'll say this again, time and time again until I can no longer say it anymore, but Ren's voice is genuinely, I think it's honestly one of my favourite vocals ever, to be honest. And you can call me exaggeratory, is that a word? You can say that I'm exaggerating, right? But it's just the truth, because he can do anything and everything, and he can meld his voice in whichever way that he feels like he needs to for the music, you know, to fit that feeling. And like even the beat and the rhythm quickening up and, you know, slowing down, it's like he even does that with the changes in his voice, you know, to almost symbolize that feeling of your mind being sometimes maybe a little bit more wired, you know. And I think that is so cool when you can do that, you know, when you can just have those like little fluctuations in your voice. Oh, it's so good. I love the little whoa, like the little, almost like, what would you say? Not yodel, but it feels like that. Do you know what I mean? Go off grid status quo, car twisted, the roll, top lip split, explode, misfit don't fit. Misfit don't fit. Oh wow. I think we missed the mark on that one, my love. I think we did, somehow. I don't think that was quite the target. Whoops-a-daisy. Oh no, that did not go to plan, did it? Also, I will just say, I love that little drawdown then on the, was it Neurodivergent, but like the vocal going more to like a bassy tone. That was really cool. I love that. I think as well, again, it's another song from Ren which is just saying like, what makes us who we are and the way we are? What makes our minds work in the way that they do, you know? Is it the way that we are almost like standardized by society? Is it the way that we are almost, you know, led by subliminal messaging from whoever that may be, whether that's the government, whatever that, you know, system is? Is it the fact that from the moment you're born, you're almost put into, again, this system of just, you know, expectation and, you know, following rule and order? Like, what is it that makes us who we are and the way that we are sort of wired in our brains, you know? And I think that is a really interesting question. The more you go down that road, though, the more I feel like you just come up with so many different answers and so many different resolutions and solutions for that it's just like a minefield, isn't it? But I love this song. It really does. Again, this is what I love about Ren's music. I think it's so thought-provoking and it really does just like make you listen. And I think Ren is one of those artists that, for me, every time I listen to a song of his, and especially the ones he's done with Webby, because I think him and Webby together, even more so, like, have this ability to create these real topics of conversation. It's like opening up this almost like box of questions for people to take away and actually think about, like, the depth of what we're saying here, because there's so many things that I feel like people don't talk about in their music. But I think with Ren and Webby, I love how they just are so authentically true and just saying like, we aren't afraid to open up, you know, and talk about these things that some people may not want to broach in their music. Like, we are the people, we are the artists to do that, and they do it in such a great, fun and inviting way for you to really like gather your own thoughts and feelings, you know.
certain.
Neurodivergent.
They told me I was broken, nothing but a defect in my head.
Wow.
Said that I was hopeless, just a fucking reject hanging on by a thread.
Come on, Webby. Listen, these bars are so, like, real and honest, I feel like, as well. And I think that, again, it's a song that even if you're listening to this and it's the first time you've heard of Ren or Webby, or, you know, it's just a song that you've come across, there's something in their music that you can find a resonance with yourself. Like, even that in just saying, you know, they told me that I basically was almost hopeless in a sense. Like, there was nothing that was going to be for me. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything, you know? And I think that a lot of us have probably been through those feelings of people telling us that you're not able to do this, you're not good enough for this. But it's just like, don't listen to what people try and spin of a narrative of you, because their thoughts and opinions aren't the reality of what or who you are, you know? But again, I think if we're going back to this whole sense of neurodivergent, you know, if we're going back to talking about the resolutions for how we as a society maybe find a resolve for these issues, it is just like they're talking about, you know, after the pills they got me, it's like instead of trying to find any other resource to be able to help people, it's always like, how can we medicate the situation? We don't necessarily need to find an answer, but we'll give you a cure for now, for the time being, and like we'll give you this medication and you can just be on your way. And it's like, again, you're just mixing these chemicals inside of your brain that are already mixing with chemicals that are maybe wiring differently, you know? And it's like, how do we find that as an answer and a resolution? Why is that the way that we go? Why is it not like, you know, like trying to find something more fitting for people who are going through these experiences and who really do need this help, you know?
Just a fucking reject hanging on by a thread. But after all the pills that they got me, it turned me to a zombie. So
wow.
Welcome to the dawn of the dead.
Oh, the dawn of the dead. Do you know what? This, for me, it's hitting a little bit hard. And maybe not in the way in which this song is possibly opening up this conversation. But I think for me, you know, I've had my own struggles when it's come to things like emotions and feeling a little bit lost, shall we say. I don't really want to go too much into it because I feel like I don't want to make it, you know, a whole thing about me. But I think that's what's so lovely about Ren and Webby's music. So I think it's important to share the fact of, you know, you can relate on certain levels, even if it doesn't maybe completely relate to you. But I think for me with this song, them just saying, you know, I didn't think I'd be crying today. When you're struggling and you reach out for help and all you get back is just like, you know, let's medicate the problem. Sorry, guys. You know, let's medicate the problem. Let's give them this as like a cure for the time being to buy the time. But it is just like the effects of that completely almost like change you again from the person that you were. So in a way, you're trying to find an answer to help you from maybe yourself and, you know, your emotions and your feelings and your mind. But it is just like their answer to that is to give you something that again is just almost like numbing you as a person and completely changing who you are. And you're just living life, like you said, like a zombie. Like you've got no life in you at that point. And it's just the picture that Ren and Webby create through their music, genuinely, it just hits so hard and is so powerful, isn't it?
Turn me to a zombie, so welcome to the dawn of the dead. In the handicap spot, just to see that doctor, and this is what he said. Yeah, he said, I got a touch of autism, piece of my puzzle is missing, while the attention deficit disorder tunnels my vision. But see, this world's an asylum and shit, we all in the system, and our sanity's the motherfucking cost of admission. You see that?
Our sanity is the cost of admission. Like, actually coming forward and saying, like, I need help, this is the issue that I've got. It's like, at that point then, basically you lose all sanity in a sense, I guess, because they do just then, you know, medicate the issue, and then that leads to even more problems. And it's just like, it's just this constant cycle of not being able to break free of, again, it's almost like another system within the system. Like, the system itself is then giving you this constant cycle. And it's like, how do you break free of these restraints that you keep on facing, no matter which way you turn in life, you know? And I really just appreciate, again, how Ren and Webby are so open with, you know, talking about the things they've experienced and the issues that they've struggled with, and, you know, really do just create a voice for people who maybe are going through the same things, who feel alone and feel like they aren't seen and they aren't heard. It's like they are a voice for people who are going through those problems themselves, you know, and I think that is something that I appreciate so much when it comes to their music too, you know. I think it's a really amazing thing for them, and to be so vulnerable and honest within, you know, their own lives as well, I think is incredible.
All in the system, and our sanity's the motherfucking cost of admission. You see that glitch in the algorithm, that's me. Don't
I love that.
Lift the boundary, going sick, let it out and flip. They found me with a misfits round, so bitch, allow me to show 'em what I came to do. Shut the blinds and keep the noise down, cause it's about time to let them all into a madman's mind. Not well, but hell, I feel fine. Go, whoa, off script, state this, whoa, got twisted.
He looks phenomenal as well, can I just say?
Whoa, misfit, don't fit. Whoa, what makes a person? Whoa, neurodivergent. Whoa, sick for certain. Whoa, neurodivergent.
Got a guitar. Alright. This little guitar break. The little kick in the beat and the drums as well. Oh my gosh, wow. Hold up a second. Okay. Listen, we said talent show. They've definitely got some talented people in here. I mean, yes. Yes, I'm just thinking back to the bow and arrow, and then I'm thinking, actually, a little off target, a little off base there. But you know what? They gave it the best shot with that, didn't they? But this guitar is absolutely wild, isn't it? Wow.
Sick entirely. Whoa, shrinks in psychiatry. Whoa, don't mind my anxiety. Whoa, or my non-sobriety. Whoa, doctors lining up to lie to me. Whoa, speak too much, they try to silence me. Whoa, just a product of society.
Oh, they try to silence me, just a product of society. And it's just like they'd rather keep me quiet and keep me hushed up than have to deal with any more of my issues. And it's just like, they'll just keep on giving me this medication because they know that ultimately for a little while it'll keep me quiet and it'll keep me, you know, to the side, and they won't have to worry about me, and then it's just on to the next person who's, you know, being treated the same way. And it's just a game of silence, even more so again, and just keeping you, you know, silenced. And then we as a society just stand by and watch that, you know, and continue to just live as part of that. And the game just keeps on replaying, and then the wheel just keeps on spinning, you know?
Well, that's fine with me.
Wow. This album so far has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Honestly, I really love and appreciate what Ren and Webby are doing with this album so far from what we have heard. I think it's been so wonderful, like just having so many real open conversations within their music about real issues and things that I think that we all think of but we don't really voice. Again, I just think it's absolutely inspiring, and these two together, I'll keep on saying, a phenomenal collaboration. And I just can't wait to see and hear more from them because they are two amazing minds that create such unbelievable music together, and I just absolutely love that so much. I do. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching along this video with me. If you did, like I said, make sure you click on that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It really does help me to see what you're enjoying watching, so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.